Although this hour will consist completely of women calling in, I'm doing this hour for guys. Sometimes we have to talk to women to find out what guys want to know. Because the chicks you know won't tell you. They lie to you. They tell you whatever you want to hear. Why? Because you pay the gas bill, for one thing. You might be buying them stuff. You don't want to get in the way of that. You might be making it possible for them to, work part-time, work flex time, have the baby, drive the minivan, whatever. And so the little lady will tell you anything you want to hear. Anything. Except the truth. We live in two different worlds, men and women. We do. It doesn't matter if we live at the same addresses. Doesn't matter if we have the same last names or we have those cute puppy dog checks with both our names on them and stuff. That doesn't matter. We live separate lives, largely because guys are a bunch of morons. You ask most guys, who's your best friend? Most guys I know will say my wife, my girlfriend. Very few women will say my husband or my boyfriend. They will always name somebody else. You ask about the husband, like, it can't be my best friend, it's my husband. Women know this for the most part. Men do not. So in this hour of the show, here's what I'd like to do with you. We're going to talk to women this hour. But again, it's for the benefit of men. Because men don't know how big a problem this is. So here's the deal, ladies. You are some chick's best friend. You have been told stuff about your best friend's boyfriend or husband. There's stuff about him that you know that he doesn't know you know. There's stuff about the relationship between your best friend and her boyfriend or husband. He doesn't have any idea. Maybe your best friend is thinking of leaving. Maybe your best friend is pregnant and doesn't know what to do. Maybe your best friend is effing her boyfriend from high school. You know stuff that the boyfriend or husband doesn't know. Now, you're completely anonymous, so when you call us, you don't even have to use your own name. We don't know who you are. But this is what we want to know. And it's for the men out there. We're doing this for the benefit of men who think this doesn't happen or don't realize it or aren't paying any attention, okay? You call us here toll-free at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's 1-800-5800-866. If you are the best friend who knows every intimate detail of the relationship between your best friend and her boyfriend or husband. And I want you to tell us all the stuff you know about him that he doesn't know you know. You don't have to give us last names. You don't have to tell us what city you're calling from. The juicier the better. Are you covering up for your best friend? Maybe she's having an affair. Maybe she's having an affair with you. All right. The stuff you know about your best friend's relationship that your best friend's boyfriend or husband doesn't know. Call me and tell me that.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
We want what you have. Boom. But you want what we have. Money, power. So our job is to withhold that from you.
Are you trying to turn the men into gold diggers then? Is that what you mean?
No, not quite. We're poon diggers.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. All right, we're doing a show for the benefit of men, but we're only talking to women. I hope you men are paying attention because it's really for you. You've always wanted to know what her best friend knows. Well, now we're going to find out what the best friend knows. We're going to talk to the best friends out there. 1-800-5800-TOM. All right, ladies, you're the best friend of a woman who has a boyfriend or a husband. What do you know about their relationship? What do you know about him that he doesn't know you know? Susan, on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Susan.
How are you?
Do you care, Susan?
I really do.
I'm doing great.
This is my first time to call, and I am the best friend. And earlier this summer, we went to Vegas. And
now, tell me about her. Does she have a boyfriend? She's married? What's her deal?
She's married.
All right, you're the best friend. She's married.
She's married.
Okay.
And we went to Vegas together so she could meet the guy she met online. And he thought that we were just going together. So, and because
just be my best friend, honey.
Well, since I'm good friends with him too, he would never suspect me except that I'm single. So that's the problem. These guys don't really realize that these women are out there meeting other people.
Now,
because they're hanging with the best friends doesn't mean that they're not meeting other guys too.
Oh, I think that's definitely true. Now, how did this all start? Since you know everything, and since you're anonymous,
too much.
Yeah, I know you do. All right, so they've been having problems in their marriage?
Yes. Yes.
Tell me about the problems. Give me the kind of detail you've been getting. I want to hear about this.
Well, just that he's abusive and controlling and goes through her cell phone, goes through her mail, goes through her online. And, she wants to be out there and experience life. And
wait a minute. Is it possible? I'm just asking you a question because you know her better than I do.
Right.
Is it possible he's looking through all these bills because he has reason to believe that she might screw around?
Well, I think he does. I mean, I think he knows that she's not with him and not wanting to be physical with him, so he's thinking she's obviously getting attention, and the colder she is to him, the more he's thinking that she's obviously there's something else.
So let's review. I mean, it sounds terrible when you first say it, but now the thing is, she doesn't want to have sex with him, and she's online all the time.
Right.
So he's going through her cell phone bills or phone bills, whatever, trying to find out who she's talking to, and then she comes to you and tells you how controlling he is. But the reality is, he has reason to be suspicious.
Well, but I think many years of this controlling nature has led her to want to be out and about. So this is recently.
So you think that at one time she was 100% focused on him, faithful to him, and she was not thinking about screwing other guys?
Right, because they've been married for 17 years.
That doesn't mean she hasn't thought about screwing other guys.
Well, she might have
and
thought
you
about
would
it,
know.
But the first time she did was when she was the guy she was with when she went out with me. That was the first time she ever strayed from him, though.
Right, but she'd been online making friends.
Right.
And you know what that always means.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, when these chicks are online chatting, you know where that goes.
Well, and men have a right to be suspicious of it because it's all slingo going on there.
Wait, we're losing you there, Susan. Try that last line again.
It's not all slingo.
Yeah, it's not all playing slingo on AOL. That's right.
Not everybody's playing slingo on there. There's some other things going on, and it's just so easy to meet guys online. And men need to know that that's all the times what the women are doing on there late at night.
Now, why doesn't your friend break up with her husband?
Well, she's trying to, but financially that's a problem right now.
Why is it a problem?
Because she doesn't work, and he does.
Really?
Yeah. And he's not crazy about her seeing and hanging out with me because I am a single woman who's professional and working, and it makes it look as though divorce is really easy when she hangs around with me.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make any sense?
Now, do you in any way feel guilt or responsibility here? I mean,
do I feel guilty?
Yeah, like, are you supportive of her effort to go to Las Vegas and meet guys?
You know what? I am supportive of her need to do what's important for her. And if that is to leave him and to get on with her life, then I am supportive of her.
But she hasn't done that.
No, but she's in the process of it, probably.
Yeah, but do you really think it's a good idea for her to be getting online, meeting complete strangers, and going to Vegas to F them?
No, I don't think it's a good idea, but I think she's doing what... I think some of that is helping her get the strength to leave him, to know there's something else out there.
So you would recommend that people who don't have the strength to leave should go out and F people?
No, I don't recommend that. I don't recommend...
Well, why is it good for her and not other people?
Well, I didn't say it's good for them. I said, I'm not... I did say to her, you need to get counseling if you're starting to do that. I think it's more important than going out and screwing everything that you come across. I think the counseling part helps to give you the strength and... the perseverance to go on and find something out there that makes you happier. He deserves somebody who's committed to him just as though she deserves somebody who's good to her.
Yeah.
So I'm very much in favor of people If they're not...
So what if you found out that he was screwing around? Would you be pissed off at him?
No.
Okay, so you think... and she would be pissed off at him, right?
She probably would, except that she has said to him, go out and find somebody. Why don't you, that would make it easier for her to leave if he found somebody. And I think that people, if they're not with somebody that they're in love with and are in a good relationship, should get out. Because there's children that are involved here that are watching this terrible situation, and they're not...
Wait a minute. He stayed at home with the kids while you took her to Vegas to F some guy?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're grown up. They're in middle school and high school. So.
Do you have a husband or a boyfriend?
Friend, not a husband.
Boyfriend. Did he know why you were going to Vegas?
He went with us.
He went with you. Now, is this guy friends with your best friend's husband?
Say that again.
Is your boyfriend friends with your best friend's husband?
He knows him, and in fact, the husband doesn't like him because he's threatened by him.
And why not? Here he is. He's in on your little plan here.
But no one knows that he went with us. Hopefully, nobody knows.
Hopefully, nobody knows.
No one knows that this boyfriend went with us.
And before
we actually all stayed in the same room together.
What? Come on.
Well, because she was gone, and then she came back, and,
Oh, okay. I thought you meant that she brought the guy from the internet up to your room, the four of you.
He had his own room, so she went over to be with him.
She went over there.
Yeah.
And then when she was done getting banged, did she come back and report to both of you or just you?
Absolutely.
To both of you?
Absolutely.
So she also confides stuff in your boyfriend.
Well, and that's dangerous, too, because we're worried that, he could possibly be a leak to it.
So, before I ever let you go, now I have to find out. There you are, you and your boyfriend, you're sitting in a hotel room. Which hotel in Vegas? Where were you? Just trying to picture the scene here.
We were at the Excalibur.
All right, you're at the Excalibur.
In New York.
Yes, okay.
That's across the street.
Right, across the street, exactly. Okay.
We had to make it convenient.
So was her friend staying in the Statue of Liberty or the Chrysler Building?
No. Oh, he was down in the casino.
All right. So did you all meet?
There's a nice restaurant there.
Did you meet? Oh, so you all met?
Absolutely.
See, wait. Let me understand this. You all went to dinner.
Right.
The four of you.
Right.
So it's you and your boyfriend and your best friend and some guy she logged into a chat room and met. What city was he from?
He was from just north of the valley.
All right, so he's also from the L.A. area as you are.
Right.
All right. So now there you are. You're all at dinner with some guy that she met on the internet. What was he like?
He was okay. He was pretty much of a player because when she got back to his room...
I'm shocked. I thought he was looking for love on America Online.
Suitcase full of like 400. He had boxes full of condoms by the bucket load, and she found them in this suitcase, and she just... I mean, I think it was a shock to her that maybe he was thinking about being with somebody else besides her. Because now you have to remember, this is her first time experimenting outside of her marriage.
Right.
So she was a little bit surprised to find out that he had
What was she hoping for? Romance here or something?
What?
Was she hoping for romance?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because that's all, she's not a player.
How stupid is she? She's in a chat room on America Online. He says, meet me in Vegas.
Right.
What, he's looking for love?
Well, she is. He's not.
Yeah, but what made her think that a guy like that would be looking for love?
I don't know what it is.
I mean, I'd have a box of condoms with me, too. Okay, so you and your boyfriend, you let her off with this guy, and you hit the casino for a while, did a couple of lounge acts or something like that. Eventually, you ended up back in your room. Is that what happened?
They didn't go back to our room.
Where did you
They
go?
went to their room.
No, you went to your room with...
I went back to our room, right.
All right, hung out there. What were you doing, watching TV or watching Spankervision, or what were you doing back there?
Goofing around.
Goofing around, and then all of a sudden, how late was it before she came back to the room?
The next day.
The next day. Okay. So she came back to the room the next day, and what did she tell you about her experience? Besides the fact this guy had boxes and boxes of condoms.
Well, she was a little bit surprised by that, and I guess he had been drinking a lot, so he was passed out. So she came back to talk to us, and then she was going to go back and see him again.
Wait a minute, he was passed out?
He was passed out. He had been drinking a lot.
So wait a minute. I don't understand. She came back the next day, and he had been passed out all night.
Well, they went back to the casinos, and I guess he drank so much, so he was still asleep in the morning. She came over to see us the next day, and then he was still home. He was still back at the casino. We were supposed to meet him again later out by the pool.
Okay.
So.
And she met him later.
A little confusing.
And did she meet him finally?
Oh yeah, she met up with him again, and then she started to lose. She started getting a little worried about the condoms and the drinking, and then started getting a little bit scared about the whole thing. And I think a lot of it got to her conscience then afterwards.
So did she do him?
Did she do him?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She did do it. Okay, because it sounded like she backed out or something.
Oh, no. She was there that night. She actually spent the night with him that night.
She spent the night with him and had sex with... Wait a minute. I'm confused. What? She spent the night with him, but when was he passed out? I don't understand.
Oh, in the morning. He was just...
Oh, in the morning when she came back to see you after she'd been banging.
Right.
She came back. And how was it?
She said it was good. She said he was pretty good, but...
Not good enough to justify what she did.
No, but the fact that she saw the condoms, that told her that, and a whole list of email addresses. So, and he would just.
I'm just amazed that she's surprised about that.
I know. He would disappear to go to the phone at times for a while.
I'll bet he did. I'll bet he did.
I think he was lining up his next night, actually.
I'll bet he was. How stupid is she?
Naive, I think.
Naive?
Yeah.
This is beyond naive.
You don't know what men are like, and I think that's one of the things I like.
It's not even a bad thing. Men want to have sex.
Right, and I don't think women believe that all the time. They think maybe they want to have a friendship, or let's be friends for a while.
No.
And it's not like that. And I think a lot of
the ones who want to do that are guys you don't want to have sex with anyway, because they're pussies.
Right, and they need to realize that,
And despite the fact that he was a player, she went and did him anyway, you'll notice.
Right, she did. She absolutely did.
Now, can I ask you to hold on, because I got a couple of people who want to talk to you, Susan.
Okay.
I'm going to take some of these. If people want to talk to Susan, we'll just take a couple, Dean. Just a couple. All right, we're talking to women who are best friends with other women. The woman who you are best friends with is married or has a boyfriend, and you know stuff about him that he doesn't know you know. Call us and tell us about it.
The Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
Yes, it is, from Los Angeles. 1-800-5800-TOM. All right. We have Susan on the line here. Let me get Leroy. Leroy, you had something to say to Susan. Go for it.
Tom. Hello, Tom.
Hello, Leroy.
This bitch is my worst nightmare, Tom. It's a best friend like this that broke up my 12-year marriage, man. Chicks like this are either out to screw their best friend's husband or screw him over or take him out to Vegas and get their best friend laid and cover it up and hide. And to be honest with you, Tom, I don't think she went out there to lay anybody. I think that lady took her out there with her boyfriend to have a little menage a trois, get her while she was down and out, get her a little tipsy over there at the bar. Already her story sounds confusing. I think that's what really happened. She went up there to be a predator to that lady and try to take advantage to her own use. But it's a bitch like that that's every man's nightmare, man. There's no such thing as a best friend like that tells you that it's okay to go out and go on the internet, screw somebody else. Sorry about that, Tom. Go screw somebody else, man. It's crazy, man. That lady's full of it. And her intentions, her motivations were more than what she said. I'll guarantee you that.
Susan, did you want to respond to that?
My goodness. None of that is true. There was no intentions of us all being together.
Why don't you support her then? Why don't you try and take both sides of the story instead of staying inside one little tiny box? There's always two sides to the story. You only want to hear one, and the only reason why is because it's for your own selfish needs, not anybody else's but your own. And if you cared about the kids, you would have really tried to do something. Not take her to Vegas to get laid by a damn stranger on top of that. What kind of friend would do that with tell her to go lay a stranger? Because that's what she needs, lady? Are you crazy?
Well,
you're telling me you care about the kids?
Okay, you're assuming
Thanks for doing Mommy a favor.
Did you want me to answer?
Go ahead, answer it.
Okay. You're assuming that I made these arrangements. I did not make these arrangements. And originally, she and I were going to Vegas. I didn't know in the beginning, and I didn't tell this earlier, in the beginning, she had made these arrangements before I knew that's why we were going to Vegas. And so when we decided we were just going to go there to have fun.
You happened to tag your boyfriend along too, right?
Well, interestingly enough, she said to me, why don't you invite him to go with us?
Right.
So the fact that you're thinking this too, I thought maybe she's more interested in than I am. But when she did reveal to me why she wanted to go there. So at that point, I didn't stop the trip and say, no, we're not going to go there. And I know that sounds
a true friend would have. A true friend would have,
because family and everything.
You'd have to be sick to let your good friend go off with a complete stranger who has children. What if something would have happened to her? You would have been partly responsible for their mom being dead or whatever might have happened to her. You would have been partly responsible for that, for not being a good enough friend to tell her, you know what? You can go down to the bar and meet a guy, meet somebody and talk with somebody. Don't get on the internet and start typing and say, hey, you know what? I need to get laid. You know what? You need to get laid. Go buy a prostitute.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I agree with that.
And if you want to be a good friend, obviously you don't want to be a good friend to anybody she meets in the future, because if you were a good friend to her and her kids, you'd be a friend to her husband too. And regardless of all the flaws, you should have been there as a friend and as a human being to do the right thing. And you didn't do the right thing, and I'll tell you why. Because you had ulterior motives than what you're telling us right now. And I don't know why you don't come out with it, because we don't know who you are, but only you know. But I know. Just know I know what you went there for. And I bet you guys did, too.
All right. Well, Susan says she didn't. You say she did. What can we do? There we go. Leroy, Susan, thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. I do want to say one thing here, though. And that is this. Something came out in that phone conversation, and I kind of scratched the surface of it, but I want to kind of explore this a bit. What really pisses me off are women who know how to press a man's hot buttons, and they press the hot buttons, and then they say things like, "Oh, look how mean he's being, look how controlling he's being." It's like, they're the perfect example in that call. First, we hear that the guy was a monster, that the best friend's husband was a jerk, a monster. Oh, he was controlling. He was one of these controlling people. He was going through her email and going through her phone bills and trying to find out who she's talking to. Later, we find out that she's on the internet chatting up guys and goes and meets one in Vegas, and her best friend and her best friend's boyfriend go to Vegas with her so she can complete the deal. Now, isn't it just possible that the guy was looking through the phone bills and looking through the emails because he had reason to believe something was going on? Is that possible? Is it possible maybe he wasn't controlling until he realized that she was talking to the best friend all the time and getting online all the time and sending emails all the time, and then eventually he realized that this chick had a whole separate life from him that he had no part of? Isn't that possible? And look how controlling he became. Ooh, he was so controlling. Imagine that. This chick who's always on the phone with her best friend, and then sending emails and chatting up guys on the internet and stuff, ultimately goes to Vegas. Oh, and the husband is controlling. God damn, I hate that. Tom Leykis Show, 1-800-5800-TOM. We're talking to the best friends. This is for the benefit of guys out there. 1-800-5800-866 is that telephone number. What do you know about the best friend that the best friend's boyfriend or husband does not know you know? 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Rachel on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. Well, I'm not friends with this girl anymore, but I used to be very close friends with a girl who both of her children, she told her husband that she got pregnant on accident while she was taking the pill with both kids.
Uh-huh.
However, she told me that she stopped taking the pill both times in order to get pregnant on purpose. And to this day, he does not know that those kids were not accidents.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Now, how do you feel about that?
Well, I'm totally disgusted by it, and that's actually one of many reasons why we're not friends anymore. But I mean, I was almost at the point where I felt like maybe I should even tell her husband, but I didn't. But, yeah, it just totally disgusts me that she would do that to him. Especially because when they got married, they both talked about how, they didn't want kids and they, were going to do all these things and not have children. And then within the first year, she was pregnant.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is.
It's outrageous.
Very.
So are you still friends?
No, we're not, actually.
Because of that or because of other reasons?
Well, that's one of the reasons, but yeah, because of other things too. Just her personality, obviously, is not a very good one. So, yeah.
I understand. Rachel, Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate the call. Lisa on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Lisa.
So, you want to hear my story?
Yes.
Okay. I'm still friends with her. We were very close friends, not so close anymore, but a couple years ago, and she's very married, by the way. A couple of years ago, she was working a graveyard shift, and she would call the chat lines, the party lines on the actual phone.
Right.
And so she met a guy on there, and he actually ended up coming and seeing her at work and stuff, and so, long story short, they met up and had their little thing. And he ended up sending her a dozen red roses to work. Well, my friend in the meantime is buying a brand new house, and she takes the dozen roses home to her husband and tells her husband that these red roses are from her friends at work, and congratulations for buying a brand new house.
Oh my God! Now, how did you feel about that when she told you that?
I was dumbfounded. I couldn't believe that he actually bought it.
All right, but how did you feel about her doing that?
I was a little concerned. She had one kid at the time, and I was concerned about that. And we talked about it a lot, and I said, you really need to figure out what it is you want. You can't just be going around and...
What reason did she give you for doing that?
Oh, she wasn't happy, and she was just... It was just... She was looking for something else to do.
Something else? You mean someone else to do?
She was bored. Yeah.
She was bored. There's that word again. She was bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's still married to the same guy. And
why does she stay married to him? I mean, I don't get this.
Oh, well, apparently now they're just perfectly happy, and he's just going on along, and he has no clue whatsoever. So I don't know.
And she only did this one time, or it kept going?
She met the same guy several times. Yeah.
And she kept telling you the details.
Oh, yeah.
And did she tell you any of the, real juicy details?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, tell us. We want to hear those.
Oh, I know for a fact. One time she insisted to her husband that she had to be to work early because there was a real important staff meeting. Of course, this was in the evening, so I don't know.
Oh, she certainly met a staff, all right.
Yeah. So she took him, and she also had a new car, and she went and picked up this guy in her car, and they went and parked somewhere. I'm not really sure where, but yeah, she gave him in the car, and and he insisted on more, so she gave in to more, and I don't know.
And did she say what kind of an F he was?
She said he was not very good.
He was not very good, but that didn't stop her from continuing to see him.
No, that's very true.
Unbelievable. Now, do you have a boyfriend or a husband?
I am married.
You're married. Does your husband know any of this stuff?
Oh, he sure does.
So you've told it all to him?
Oh, yes.
What does he think?
He thinks that her husband's just stupid, that he should obviously... There's plenty of signs. I mean, he should have known.
What do you mean he should have known? He should have known. Come on, that's...
Well, for that one, the incident I was just telling you about where she said there was a staff meeting. He had called into work and talked to another employee there, and that employee told him, oh, well, there's no staff meeting. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So when he confronted her with it, she insisted, oh, it was a personal staff meeting between the manager and herself.
Uh-huh. That's a personal staff meeting.
Yeah, just the two of them.
That's
the
brilliant.
Manager.
That's great. Now, here's the thing. If I'm your husband, which I'm not, but if I am, I'm saying to myself, why do you want to be friends with somebody like that? Because if you are, maybe you've got that in you.
Oh, yeah. I would have to say he probably was concerned about that at the time.
Why isn't he concerned about it anymore?
No. There's no issues there.
I'd be concerned about that, I'll tell you what.
No, there's no issues there. We're good.
And I don't. Do you ever have to meet your best friend's husband? Do you ever have to meet him or see him?
Oh yeah.
So,
we've all been friends.
How do you feel about being in that position of having to know this stuff?
I don't like that at all. I was really upset about it. I mean, it's hard for me to say, hey, I'm friends with you and I'm friends with your husband. What am I supposed to do?
But it doesn't stop you from continuing to, keep her secrets.
That's true. And I guess that's probably why I'm calling you today, because I still to this day feel bad about it.
You don't feel that bad?
No, and I don't have that much contact with them anymore either.
Yeah, I don't know why you would have any. That's what doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, yeah.
And I think I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of guys out there. Why would you want to know somebody like that?
That's very true, and I don't trust her. I mean, I know if she did that to him, she'd turn around and do the same thing to me.
Of course she would.
Yeah. So it's not worth my time.
That's right.
So I would say, we're just acquaintances. Hi, hello, how are you?
All right, Lisa, thank you very much.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Well, break it down for me.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
You have that same disease that most women have, okay? You have selective hearing.
I probably do. I like to hear what I want to hear.
I understand that.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show on 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Tina on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey there, Tom. How you doing?
Hi, Tina.
I think that a lot of these women are really deplorable. They will help each other cheat all day and night, and yet if the husband or boyfriend cheats on them, he's swine, he's a pig, he's a lying sack, he's this and that. And I just, either you approve of people cheating or you don't. And if you're going to help your friends cheat, then you're no better than they are.
Really?
Honestly. I really feel that way. And I think it's ridiculous. And then I think it's pretty funny. The girls will go and complain to their girlfriends about their boyfriend. You know what? You sit down and you have a talk with him. And if you can't figure it out, you take a break from each other or you stop seeing each other. You don't, going to your girlfriend and talking to her, all you're trying to do is get someone to have the same opinion as you. You're just going to her with a one-sided story just to get an agreement from her, and just so you have an excuse to go out and cheat on the poor guy. I really think it's ridiculous, and I've had a couple of girlfriends of mine try to use me as a cover. If my husband calls, tell him that I was over at your house last night. And I'm going to listen. If you're comfortable lying to the provider of your home and the father of your children, that's your business. But I only date one guy at a time. I treat him really well. And
so you think this is wrong to do?
Absolutely. I think if you're going to help someone cheat, it's because you approve of cheating and you condone the behavior.
Hang on a second. Hey, Janet, do you agree with Tina?
Yeah?
You agree with her?
Well, like I said,
No, you haven't said anything yet. We just got on the air together.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was talking to somebody else. Well, no, men have been pulling this stunt for years, and women used to be above it. Women didn't act like that a long time ago. And, recently, it's a shame to see that women are starting to act like men have been acting for years.
But you're saying it's the fault of men.
No, it's no one's fault. I just think that we should rise. We used to be better. We should rise above it. I think we're copying men in a lot of different areas. That's very bad for us.
All right, Janet, Tina, thank you. Appreciate the calls. Our email address is my name. It's tom@blowmeuptom.com. That's tom@blowmeuptom.com, or call our comment line. The number is area code 310-842-9592. That's 310-842-9592.
The Tom Leykis Show.